A day in the life of a New York City mom. Here we go, a 16-hour travel day coming at you. I've always been an anxious flyer, so the night before our flight, I do not sleep at all. I was basically up every hour and then finally got up at 4. We usually try and pack everything up in the Uber before the kids are awake. Then at the very last second, we scoop them and jump in the car. And I usually tend to the kids while my husband tends to all the bags. Every year we rotate between my family for Christmas and my husband's family the next year. So this year we're heading to my parents' place, not the lake house that you see in the summertime. We were going to their house in town. After we went through security, Newark had this new play area. It looks identical to an airplane, so of course the kids were pretending to be pilots, passengers, and even flight attendants. After that, we went and got some breakfast. We had a very long day ahead, and when you go into it tired, it's even worse. So any chance we get for the kids to run around, I let them do that before the next flight. Miles. And we were off for flight number 1. Since my parents live in the interior of British Columbia, the flight options are very limited, and overall our first flight went pretty smooth. And when we got to the Toronto airport, there was a Santa Claus waiting there, and Santa's little helper was looking for a little camera time. And we didn't have much of a layover here, so we raced off to the next flight. And while we were waiting in line to board this flight, they announced that we had to make a pit stop in Calgary to get more fuel, which seems super odd because why wouldn't they just fuel up here before we leave? Anyways, our trip was supposed to be 3 flights, which turned into 4 flights, and Dawson was making sure he knew all his emergency exits just in case. Talk about apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Of course, can't forget his snacks. Meanwhile, Miles was in another imaginary world. I'm not even sure if he was speaking English or not, but he was having a good time. Both of the boys are usually pretty good at falling asleep. They were horrible babies to fly with when they were younger, but slowly, year by year, they're getting easier, I promise. And I couldn't resist turning on Home Alone. They were kind of into it. After 7.5 hours on this flight, we were finally on the home stretch. Since we had that extra stop for fuel, we didn't have much time in between, so we raced to our next flight. It was so bumpy and Miles threw up all over me, but all of that was forgotten when we got to the airport. My entire family, my nieces, my nephews, my sisters, my parents were all there with signs welcoming us home. It was probably the cutest thing I've ever seen, and the entire airport was staring at us, and I was covered in throw up. And anytime we get to the car, my mom always has little gifts waiting for the kids in their car seats. Miles does not forget that, so he immediately jumped in first so he could scope out which one he wanted. And the second we walk in the door, my parents always have the fireplace going, appetizers and drinks ready to go. After the kids had dinner, it was time for some games. No one loves a good game more than my mom. When we were younger, she turned everything into a game. Even a long car ride was turned into a game. Geography tests were turned into a game, and we won chocolate bars. And the best part is that there's always a prize at the end of the game. No matter if you're a winner or a loser, you get a prize. So after a long 16-hour travel day, this was well worth it, and that's it.